Oh,
I had to
hell
get
no,
you.
man. Oh, hell no.
Uh,
Oh,
oh.
hell no, man. Like, do you really gotta do this to me, man? Do you really have to do this to me? This
hey,
is far from fair,
listen. I lost faith in Boston for the last game. It was sad. Man, I felt like I kicked my own ass. But then I just had a feeling after the Warriors came back, I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm riding with Boston. And Boston proved last night why they went to the finals last year.
I don't know about all of that, but I mean, Tatum finally woke up from the dead. But we're going to break down all of that as well too. So, episode 20 is definitely in the building today, this afternoon. It's the Darion Hopkins show. It might just be me and Mac today. I'm not too sure. But hey, if they hop in, they hop in. Because we're going to get this thing rocking today. Today's Friday, May 12th. This month is going by too fast for me. Before you know it, it's going to be fall, and I don't want that. I love the summer. That's just my personal opinion. I prefer the summer.
I can't wait.
Not
Fall
really,
means football. Fall
not
means
really.
football.
Okay, I could, I'm waiting for, you could say that. You could absolutely say that.
Well, I mean, that's my favorite time of the year. I mean, just personally, like
football,
I love it.
because it's not, it's, but it seems, I can say this though. Is the season's going by a little bit too fast for me these days?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's 100%. The older you get, the faster time flies. I don't care what the price. Like a year used to feel like a drag when I was 20. Now I blink and it's already May. I'm like, Jesus, before I know it, it's going to be October. And then, we're going to be doing this all over again.
Exactly. But we're here, y'all. Episode 20 is finally here. 20 episodes. Majority of them was by myself at first, but this last week has been an amazing week with the crew. And for me, I like to talk, by myself sometimes, but it's just better when you have other people around you and you hear other people's perspectives instead of hearing it in the comments, or like you got to reply to the comments all the time. But hearing all different perspectives from y'all, man, it's been really fun this past week, and I can't wait to grow even more.
Well, starting next week, I'm going to do my AM show. I'm going to start my AM show, and hopefully Ed's going to be with me when I take off. But regardless, I want to start doing an AM show, and I want to put my bets out before the curve comes in, because the late afternoon curve, I mean, the Las Vegas odds tend to look crazy in the afternoon, but when you look at them in the morning, it looks fair to the game. I'll say that. That's why, if you notice, most of my bets that I send in as soon as I wake up. I start looking at the books.
Okay, I dig it. I didn't do no bets yesterday, and I'm happy that I did.
Tobias Harris, man, one of the bets from last night would have hit. If Tobias Harris, just come on, they should have gave that ball up a little bit more. They should have gave him more opportunities. I was a little upset with them because I thought they were going to go to him a little bit more.
And you know what? For me, I can't blame. We're going to talk about it right now, though, because I can't blame Doc Rivers on this game. I just can't. And people feel like, oh, you want to blame Doc Rivers and how he did the rotations and stuff like that. I'm sorry to say, but the last 5 minutes is not on Doc Rivers, man. We was in this game with 5:54 left in the fourth quarter. We was in this game. You can't blame Doc Rivers for Joel Embiid turning the ball over. You can't blame DeAnthony Melton for missing back-to-back shots in the corner. You can't blame James Harden for tripping over his own feet and asking for a foul.
I'm gonna blame Embiid. How you come on, man? You are the engine behind this team, and in the fourth quarter, you don't call for the ball in the last minutes. You don't make a dominant like say, give me the ball. Like, come on, man. That's your job. That's your job. And then they go in the interview and complain that he didn't get the ball. Like, you're the superstar, homie. Everybody else is playing for you.
It was times in that fourth quarter where he was calling for it, and James completely ignored it. And that's my issue with James Harden. That's been my issue with him his whole career. He could be very selfish down the stretch. And just to tell you, the man had 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. I mean, 4 of them was in the first half, but he was still a -10 with 13 points. In a closeout game, you played 43 minutes. In a closeout game, 4 for 16 from the field, 0 for 6 for 3, and 13 points. Yeah. Come on now. So for me, James Harden, he went back to his game 2 and game 3 ways. Being lazy. I mean, the steals, he had steals, but I mean,
look, I'm gonna put it this way. If you can only win when James Harden is being the best of himself, it's a hard way. It's a hard way. Boston found a way to win. You know how they won last night? Like, I'm not even gonna put it on a player. I'm gonna say defense. They played as if they had a reason to play. The difference in defense is what came last night for the Boston Celtics. Yes, they hit some shots they weren't hitting, but look at the score. Nobody they didn't run away with this thing. Absolutely, it was a dominant defensive performance, especially when you're looking at the fourth quarter. Like, everything leading up the third, the fourth, like you just seen the defense. We were getting more rebounds. We were taking better shots. And like I said, I mean, the overall performance for the Celtics, I'm happy with. Considering I honestly, I wasn't sure if you guys were going to just blow us straight out. You're at home, you know. You have Embiid playing well. You have Maxey playing well. You know, getting the rest of your role players, that's what was key, and I think that's the big part that got missed.
Oh, see, Boog is in the chat talking about don't go too hard on James Harden. I'm going hard on James Harden. I'm about to, because at the end of the day, if you look, even if you look at the stats, right? Boston only shot 23% from the 3-point line. They only shot 36% from the field. While the Sixers, no, actually, I'm wrong. Boston shot 42% from the field. From 42% from the field and 42% from the 3-point line. But that upgraded in the second half when Jason Tatum woke up from the dead. Because before then, he was like, I think he was 2 for 15 at the time or something of that nature. I'm not sure, because he was struggling the whole first 3 quarters and to the end and going into almost at the end of the fourth quarter. But the Sixers, like 23% from the field, 36% from the field. We didn't play well at all for real. And I'm kind of surprised that Boston was up so much. Y'all allow us to come back and be down by 7 at the end of the half. So for me, if I look at this box score, right? Maxey was the main reason why we stayed in this game.
Absolutely.
I would not say Joel Embiid, because Joel Embiid didn't look like the Joel Embiid. But if you look at it, he played 41 minutes. He was 9 of 19. And he had 10 rebounds. He had 26 points. To me, that sounds like he ran out of gas. That's what it sounds like. I'm not trying to make an excuse for him, but it sounds like he ran out of gas. But I felt like he needed help. And Maxey was the only one to give him help. If you look at it, Tucker 8, Harris 2. We're going to get into that as well. Niang only 6. House only 3. Like, who else? Like, you played. McDaniels only got it for 1 minute.
Yeah, McDaniels didn't hit the court, did he? I don't think he hit the court.
Yeah, for 1 minute, and he got out. Same thing for Shake Milton. D'Anthony Milton had 24 minutes. He had no points.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. How many minutes did Milton have? Because Milton was out there, and he didn't shoot shit.
And that's what I'm saying. Like he was only 0 for 5. He shot the ball 5 times.
To me, that's the point of having a Harden and a Melton. And a Maxey. So when you have backup guys like Melton, when these guys attack the basket and they draw the crowd, kick it out to Melton. You know what I mean? Kick it out. Like Europa, even what's his name? Yang, whatever.
Yang.
Yeah. Like even he can hit a drop 3. You know what I mean? Especially when he was wide open. He hit 2 in a row, right. One game. So it's not that they can't do it. The whole thing is you got to trust them to do
it. Agreed.
Agreed. But I'm going to be honest. I know everybody's going to be like, "What? That's crazy. Don't do it." I said the same thing about the Celtics. Celtics need to start Williams to have a bigger defensive presence. They did that yesterday, right? I'm saying let Maxey facilitate the ball. Give Maxey the ball going up the court.
Because it's too predictable for Philadelphia, man.
Give and go back to Harden and let Harden try something. Fine and dandy. But the whole thing is like, dude, him making poor decisions with the ball is one of the reasons why you guys are in the mess you're in.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to be a shooter, no problem. Get to your spot. Get to your spot. You get open, we're going to hit you. Shoot. That's fine. But you can't facilitate and take bad shots.
You just can't.
It's horrible because it doesn't matter if you get 15 assists if you've only got 10 points and fucking 18 missed shots.
And he played 43 minutes. Like, this is my thing. Tobias Harris only attempted 7 shots all game.
Yeah, and 3 of those were highly
42
contested.
minutes. But this man had 6 rebounds. He had 3 assists. He had 2 back-to-back crucial steals that we could not convert on.
Well, the ball should have been given back to him. They should have given that ball back to him when he was running. He was right there in the paint. It would have been a simple boom, chest pass. He go up. He would have been cleared. But again, like I said, bad decision making on the court. I agree with you. You can't blame Doc Rivers for this. It is not on him this time. It is 100%. Embiid has got to be more. He's got to have a heavier tone in that locker room. He's got to let him know. Listen, when it's crunch time and when it's time to go, feed me. But and that's the conversation he needs to have with Harden and Maxey and the rest. Like he needs to tell them, I'm the leader of this goddamn team. Without me, we are not here. And that's the truth.
It is the truth. I can say this as well in the fourth quarter. Now, there was 2 turnovers that I did not like from Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was really iffy to me in this game. Even though he still had 10 rebounds, he still had a double-double, still had 26 points, of course. He's going to get his numbers regardless.
I'll say this. He looked aggravated. I think he was very aggravated, especially by the second quarter when people weren't moving and when Harden wasn't doing what Harden was supposed to do. And it was the little things. Even P.J. Tucker. When P.J. Tucker brought his man to the paint and Embiid kind of tried to motion for him to go back to the corner. And then in turn, Harden gave Embiid the ball, and Embiid got double teamed. And I know I don't think he made the shot, but I mean, regardless, to give up a play over something, you know what I mean, that simple as to know, like, hey, you know the rock's coming over to Embiid. Don't bring your man over so he can be double teamed. Get away. You know what I mean? Space the floor.
Facts.
That's kind of second nature. So I mean I do it. I feel like it was a couple plays where he was like, "Give me the ball," and he didn't get the ball. He started getting aggravated
because
I think everybody who watched that game by the fourth quarter, I think I want to say between the 9 and 7 minutes, you can see on Embiid's face that he is visibly upset and agitated. And I don't think it was at the Boston Celtics.
But the thing about it is, though, if there's another thing that I said was this: like, even though Robert Williams was on Embiid defensively, everybody knew you was going for that jump shot at the foul. And when you pump faked and they went for it and you drove to the basket, you stopped going away from that. And the reason why you stop going away from that, because Harden wants to keep you in a pick and roll at the top of the key. And I hate that so much that 99% of our offense is that it has to be Joel Embiid to give a pick to James Harden, where you can put anybody else in that pick situation. Because if you notice, even if you do the pick and roll with James Harden and Embiid rolls to the basket, you're not really giving it to him. You're giving it to Embiid at the top of the key when he's so-called rolling. So
yeah.
I'm just tired of Harden, man. I'm just tired of him. I'm tired of him, bro. I'm tired.
It is the full experience of what is James Harden. Now, here's the crazy thing. Just as well as he did shitty this game, right? If I told you he came back and scored 50 points in this next game and they won,
and I still want him gone.
You'd be like, yeah, I 100% believe that, but he's not going to do it again. You know what I mean? He can't do it consistently, and that's the knock on James Harden. I mean, unfortunately, it is what it is. You know, all you can do is, you know, hope and pray that he's going to give you good performances.
So see, like the Sixers are just like my Raiders, man. You just don't have expectations for them.
Hold on. Do not compare.
No. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell you why. I said on the live stream, Mac. I said on the live stream, I'm gonna tell you why. Because every time I pick against them, they win. When we did game, what was that? Game 5. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know what Sixers team I'm going to get. And then they went out and they played the way they're supposed to play. Last season for the Las Vegas Raiders, I went against them a few times in games. Against the Seattle game when we won in overtime, I went against them in that game. When we went to when we beat the New England Patriots, I went against them in that game. They won. But the games that we supposed to beat, like the Arizona Cardinals, we lose. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It gives me that expectation. Like, do I need to really put expectation on the Philadelphia 76ers? Because we could never get past the second round. We always have to struggle to try to get to the East. We haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals in 20 years. So, like, it's starting to be repetitive, just like the Las Vegas Raiders. It's starting to be repetitive.
I mean, look. I'm just saying this right now. As much as I love Boston, okay, and I root for Boston like hell, the Wizards are my home team. That's the team that I go and actually support on a regular basis because I can go to the stadium in DC. And you know what I mean? Like I've supported them for years. I love them, but it's a similar situation, like your Raiders. Like the franchise has bad ownership, and keeps trying to recycle old things, acting like it's new. Like between we had Ted, Ernie, and Scott Brooks. And that's what I think I touched on this in the chat the other day when we were talking about it. And it was like that franchise has been set back so many times by so many coaches. And now the other GM that we hired a couple of years ago, we just fired him. And then Wes Unseld, like I don't think he's our coach anymore. Like I mean, franchises like those are unfortunately it's sad. Because you have multiple opportunities to kind of try to right the ship and that's why I say the 76ers are not like the Raiders, because the 76ers has had Embiid. They've seen some success in the playoffs. Regardless, even getting here, some teams haven't been in this position their whole franchise. You know what I mean? Especially in the NBA or for over 20 plus years. So they have Embiid. You have Maxey. You have guys there that are showing promise. That I mean, I feel like even if it's not this year, say you get rid of Harden and you go get somebody. I mean, trade for an actual shooter, trade for an actual facilitator, and then I mean, you put Maxey at the 3, and he's going to still dominate pretty much everybody on that court because they're not going to be able to match up with his speed. And how old is he? How old's Max?
I think Harden is what, like 34, 35?
I'm not talking about Harden is what you need to move away from.
Exactly.
Embellish the Maxey.
But I need for Daryl Morey to
them.
learn that this is not the Houston Rockets, bro. This is not the Houston Rockets. I understand you want to bring in former players from the Rockets' success. I understand that. But this is not the Houston Rockets, bro. It's just not. And I just feel like our second unit struggled a lot, and I feel like we need to work on our second unit in free agency as well. Because I feel like our second unit is good, but at the same time, like I just feel like Harden and Embiid and Maxey, they didn't give Tobias a chance to even touch the ball in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you guys need a guy like a Brogdon. You need a Brogdon. You need that sixth man. And I feel like if you can move away from Harden, put someone in there who's an actual facilitator, and then go get you a pure shooter. I think you're talking about a whole different game next year. Like a whole different game. And
there's definitely roster changes that need to be helped. I understand that you want to keep Court Miles, you want to keep Shake Milton. Let those guys go. They ain't getting in the game. Let those guys go.
There is a way for the Sixers to win, but you know who can't win? The Suns. The Suns can't.
Let's talk about it then.
Let's move on to Philly, man. I totally look. I tried to tell you the defense was what was going to win this game. And the Nuggets came playing defense. Now, I'm not going to say it was just the defense because there's a lot of bad shots in there too. But the overall, they outworked the Suns in every facet of the game.
They didn't want it.
I mean, to me, it was by midway through the second quarter, I knew there was no way they were coming back. I knew there was no way they were coming back. I tell you what. Remember what I said last night? What was it? We still had most of the fourth quarter to go. I'm like, you know what, guys? I'm just going to go to sleep. I went to sleep, and I knew.
I actually ended the live stream at the end of the third quarter. Because I knew it was done. Yeah. I knew it was done. I was like, let me see if they try to make some type of effort. Yeah, it wasn't no effort.
It just wasn't happening. What is it? I mean, unless you're going to have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker just throw it from the 3-point line and hopefully get hot. I mean, that was the only way you were even going to remotely come back. But again, what are you doing on defense?
Right.
What are you doing on defense?
But what's crazy about it is,
and then having Ayton sit on the damn bench, I knew it. Like it was. I knew it. If Ayton didn't play, there was no shot in hell. Because at least he can get you close to a double-double.
Right. Agreed.
And at least he gives you somewhat of a defensive presence. He might not be a rim protector, but he's a presence in the paint. It's just hard for me to fathom that the Suns really thought they were just going to go in there and play the same type of game that they played before and win. Like the defense was on Devin Booker too much. Like from the first quarter, you could see that there's no way this guy was having a 30-point game. And then they just let KD take bad shots. I mean, shit, Aaron Gordon took him pretty much by himself most of the night.
Yeah, if you look at the Phoenix Suns box score, right? Cameron Payne had himself a game last night. It had Durant had 23, but he struggled. He didn't attempt the 3-pointer. And that's what kind of got me in his press conference where he said he don't consider himself an efficient 3-point shooter. He don't take a lot of 3-point shots. I said, Kevin Durant, over your career, you shot at the 3-point line.
Who's giving him their stats? Because I think that's wrong.
Yeah, how you going to say that in a press conference that you don't take a lot of 3-pointers? I'm confused here, Kevin Durant. You didn't take a lot of 3-pointers.
3-point percentage.
You didn't take a lot of 3-pointers in this series because you couldn't.
38.5? That's actually not that bad.
But he said he don't like to take a lot of 3-point shots.
Anybody over 35%, I'm saying shoot. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, because 9 times out of 10, You know, it's all about streaks. Can they get on a hot streak?
Exactly.
Because as much as shooting is repetition and skill, it's also confidence. Confidence has a lot to do with the shot.
And I think it had a lot to do with Kevin Durant rarely playing after the trade. He only played 8 games in the regular season after the trade. But I feel like if I'm thinking about it right now, if I'm a Phoenix Suns fan, I'm saying this. The Brooklyn Nets won the trade. Because
Absolutely.
You get rid of your best defender in Mikal Bridges. That's one. You get rid of Cam Johnson that can shoot the ball and stretch the floor.
Listen.
And then you give up first four round draft picks. All for Kevin Durant.
Yep. I mean, Bridges alone was worth it. I mean, you throwing those picks and Bridges. I'm going to be honest with you. No, he's not a once in a generational player, but hot damn, he reminds me of like young Kawhi. Like he can go get you 25 points and 10 rebounds
and play defense on top. Yes.
And that's the biggest thing. He's going to play defense. He's going to play defense against anybody. We've seen him go in the paint and try to play against the center.
Right.
And I mean, yeah, he fouled a couple times, but he played decent a couple times. I mean, but what can you expect from this kid? A lot. Brooklyn went from, I thought they threw away their fucking future for right now to all of a sudden now they got a big and bright future.
Right.
Because it's like it's only going to take a couple pieces around Bridges. You get a pure shooter around him, and you get a decent big man. You're talking about they've already got role players. They've already got a few role
players. Not going to make the playoffs after Durant got traded. They thought they was not going to make the playoffs. That was the expectation. They was like, "Oh, we're going to look forward to next year." But
yeah, we're looking for the lotto. We're looking towards the lotto.
Right. That's what people was thinking. And Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson was lost in this series. If you look at this Phoenix team the last couple of years with those two, they was a number 2 seed, they was a number 1 seed or 3 seed. I just think they're better with Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson than they are with Durant. Yeah. Or it just could be that Durant only played 8 games and they didn't gel.
With Bridges and Cam, they win. I believe they win. You take Durant away, and I believe with the way they played this year, especially like in the playoffs, I 100% believe they win. I think there was a bad decision on their end to bet all that on 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, because
to me again, you're throwing your franchise in the gutter for a maybe, for a wish. And that's just not smart basketball anymore. You can't do that. You have to build through the draft. You have to find your own guys. Now, yes, if there's a missing piece, go get that missing piece. But for you to do most of your shopping and most of your building through free agency is fucking nuts. And then the guys that you brought up and you built up and you've trained and you've got them to learn your system and you've got them to really sprout. Now you're shipping them guys out. And more picks. Don't seem smart.
Dante Rogers said that Ayton was playing for a new contract and quit. He's going to be gone by the end. He's going to be gone. They're going to try to find a way to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. They're going to get away. They're going to find a way to get away from him. But I don't think DeAndre Ayton is the issue. I think when you traded for Kevin Durant and you gave up them valuable players, that was the reason why the Suns was number 1, number 2, or number 3 in the West. And now you have to deal with the Kevin Durant situation, and you have to look at it. Kevin Durant, especially Tim Legger said it on SportsCenter last night. This is the last hurrah for Kevin Durant. He don't see Kevin Durant going to another team. For me, Kevin Durant made the biggest mistake of his career, leaving the Golden State Warriors to try to build that same empire in Brooklyn where you couldn't do that. You had everything that you needed in the Golden State Warriors. You had everything there.
I mean, I understand that you want to agenda, but I would love to see Durant finish his career out with the Wizards. Just bring it home.
He's
Play
not
for the
he's
home
not going
team
to go
for a
there.
year or so. I mean,
I don't
I
say he's
know,
from
I know,
Washington
I know.
D.C., but
It's my agenda. That's my
yeah,
agenda. I want him to come home. Okay, I'm tired of paying $150 to see him.
that's true too. But you got to think about it too, though. Kevin Durant, he's got a little bit of injury prone in the last couple of years too. So
absolutely. I mean, he's getting old.
Yeah, he's getting.
We all getting
that's
old.
true too. I mean, he ain't looking like LeBron James. I mean, LeBron James paid millions to stay healthy the way he stay healthy. So that kind of makes sense.
But
So
now LeBron is a generational player, though. Like that's a whole different. He's a different specimen. Let's be real. How many guys are 6'8", 260, pure muscle with like 1% to 2% body fat, eating the best food in the world, cooked by the smartest fucking chefs in the world. Like what he does with his body, to his body, and how he's built just naturally, amazing. Like that's and what he can do is, I mean, it's crazy to think he's 38 years old, and literally you have to double take at him sometimes to think he's not 32 or 34.
exactly, and I agree 100%. I definitely agree. And I understand what Dante had said. Go back and look at the game. He was watching Joker get rebounds. We saw that all series when it comes to DeAndre Ayton. We saw that all series. We knew Joker was going to get his, regardless who was defending him in this series. Yeah. But Jamal Murray stepped up in this series because he was having an off and on series as well.
Michael Porter Jr. The Nuggets as a whole stepped up.
As a whole, only one player in that starting five didn't go in double figures, and that was Aaron Gordon. But he did have 6 rebounds. He did have 3 assists.
And he played phenomenal defense against
And KD. Bruce Brown came off the bench with 13, which I hate Bruce Brown. I'm not a big fan of him, but he came off the bench with 13. I don't know. He just looks weird to me. He just looked weird, like something weird about his personality. Like I just couldn't rock with him. But Jokic, of course, Jokic did what he was supposed to do: 38, 10, and 12. That's what he's supposed to do. Jamal Murray, 26, 4 steals, 4 assists. He was 7 of 16 from the steal, 4 of 7 from the 3-point line. That's where he really struggled at in this series, and he finally started to get clicking. Caldwell Pope. Now let's get into him because he had a coming out party. He was cooking. Okay. And KCP, I know KCP wants to see the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. I know he do.
I was going to say, man, that literally reminded me of a couple years ago when he was in that Lakers uniform and he was tearing shit up. And I was very, very happy to see him go off last night. It's just, again, another piece to that team that just makes them better.
Right.
And it's just like I don't see, like, even LeBron James, if they win the series and he goes against the Nuggets, we're gonna have to see vintage LeBron. We're gonna have to see the best AD. Like, we're gonna have to see these guys. We're gonna need all the role players to come out because you're good. Everybody's gonna have to play defense. Everybody's gonna have to play defense.
Because everybody on that starting 5 for the Denver Nuggets to score.
Because here's the whole thing, right? If KD comes out with Jokic, that leaves the paint open, right? Mm-hmm. Porter's dangerous in the paint. Gordon is dangerous in the paint. Murray's dangerous in the paint. So I mean that's the matchups in that game, if it happens, is gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, because I see some I don't know if you saw on Bleacher Report lately, but the Suns they're looking to shop CP3. They're looking to shop Ayton.
That's who they should have traded. They should have traded CP3 and left the rest of their nucleus the hell alone.
Yeah, that's what they. I agree.
You traded all the first round picks. I mean, come on now. You could have traded and got somebody. Maybe not Kevin Durant for CP3 and a bunch of picks. But you know what I mean? Like you could have got something.
So according to Bleacher Report and NFL rumors, they saying that the Phoenix Suns is seeking young-term replacements for CP3. So the 2 players that they have linked here is Fred VanVleet and Terry Rozier. These are the two. Now, Fred VanVleet I like better than Terry Rozier in my personal opinion. Because Terry Rozier, ever since he had that good year in Boston, he really haven't been the same since.
What they should do is try to trade for a big man, and I believe Minnesota's got two of them.
You said who?
Minnesota. So don't they got?
They got Rudy Gobert and they got Cat. They got
Go trade for one of them.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Because that's one of the biggest problems, man. If you got a true center under there who's going to grab rebounds and going to kick out, and all you got is shooters. If you're going to keep Durant and Booker, you need a big man that's going to get you all the rebounds that you can possibly fucking scoop up. Because I mean, if that's how you plan on winning, shooting a bunch of shots and playing lackadaisical defense, then fine, get a big man. At least you got the paint held down. At least you're going to get rebounds, and that's why Aiden was supposed to play this pivotal role in this offense and defense. Is mainly to be right there in the paint, to get all the rebounds, offense and defensive rebounds. You don't have to be the most dominant big man, but shit, if you can't get me 10 rebounds a game starting and you're playing 30 plus minutes, what are you here for? What are you here for? And that's why I said I think they need to go get a big man. And then, I mean, going to get, a Van Fleet or, a Rozier, that's awesome too. But again, like I said, as far as the CP3 trade, like they should have been looking to shop him before he was injured. And before the trade deadline, they should have been going after a big man.
For me, when it comes to Chris Paul, do you want to go to another team? Just retire, bro. If I'm Chris Paul, I'm looking at the reflection in the mirror at this moment. And I don't want to say that he's a jinx, because I don't think it had nothing to do with him losing this series, because I'm going to tell you why. When Cameron Payne came in here, it was a different basketball team. There was a faster paced basketball team. Chris Paul slowed down this offense. So it made the series a little bit more competitive with Cameron Payne came in the lineup. It made an interesting series when he came in there.
I'll say this. Okay. Do I think a team can still use him as possibly a sixth man or a backup point guard? Absolutely. I still think he has that in the right system. No, he's not going to play in a give and go. He's not going to play in a transitional, type of offense where everything's go. But there's a few coaches in the league that play a game where it's more about matchups. And I feel like in that type of offense and that type of style game, yeah, I think he still has a role. But do I see him starting? I don't think he starts next year. But I still think he gets on another team. Or
I just think a reflection in the mirror is like, every time I'm in this playoffs, I stay hurt. What am I still doing this for? I understand I still want to get a championship, but time is running out for CP3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he knows that every time he does look in the mirror. He knows he's getting up there. But at the same time, like, if you love something, it's not work. You know what I mean? And if he truly loves still playing basketball, I play until you can't. So I understand that, because once it's over, it's over. There's no redos. There's no, well, maybe I could have. So if he's going to try to do it, let him do it. I mean, that's the only thing I can put as far as him. But do the Suns need him anymore? Absolutely not.
No, they don't need him anymore.
I think they can definitely move on from that.
I don't know why Dante Rogers keeps saying that he's a jinx. I don't think that he's a jinx. I just think that it's just unfortunate the way things happen when it comes to him being injured in the playoffs. I don't think it have nothing but him being a jinx, because at the end of the day, if that man retired today without a ring, he's going into the Hall of Fame. That's the difference between the NFL and the NBA. The NBA, you can still go to the Hall of Fame for your college career, which he did have a great college career, and a great NBA career without a championship ring. Now in the NFL, a little different. You're going to need Super Bowls to get in. There's a few that got into the Hall of Fame without rings, Dan Marino, as we say, but you don't see many players that don't have Super Bowls get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So it's a little bit different on the aspect.
I'll tell you this: half of the trenches weren't in the Super Bowl. That are in the NFL Hall of Fame. There's a lot of guys that work the trenches that never had a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, but we always have that conversation
they just put Joe Thomas in the Hall of Fame. He ain't get no Super Bowl ring. When it comes to offensive line, Anthony Munoz, did he get a Super Bowl ring?
I don't think so.
No, he played for the Bengals. And that's what I'm saying. Like there's a good long list. And I mean, okay, the list might be 20 long, but still,
it's not like the NBA where you don't have to win a national championship in college. You don't have to win an NBA championship. If you have a great career in the NBA and you impacted the game some way, somehow, and you have career stats that's top 5 or top 10, you're getting in the Hall of Fame for basketball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a little bit. I mean, I think, CP3 earned his spot. But
yeah, I mean, absolutely.
He earned his spot in the Hall of Fame, and I can see him there soon.
Damn, he should have quit playing 10 years ago.
Right. Exactly.
He could be the dead dog here then, huh?
So with this Denver Nuggets team, if it's one flaw that you have with them, what would it be going if they do decide to play the Lakers? We don't know yet because game 6 is tonight, so we don't know yet. But what would be one flaw going into the Western Conference Finals that the Denver Nuggets have?
Transitional defense. That's their biggest flaw. That is literally how the Lakers beat them. If the Lakers go against them and beat them, it's transitional defense, right? Mm-hmm. And it's almost the same thing. If the Warriors beat the Lakers, then again, it's how the Warriors beat them on transition. Because that's the biggest exploit is if Jokic getting up and down the court.
Yes, because if they play the Lakers or the Warriors, either team, they're going to run, and Jokic is going to have to get back in transition. He's going to have to because it's going to be a 4-on-5 or 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1 majority of the time. The Lakers know how to get out and run, and so does the Warriors.
The big thing that I like about the Lakers, though, is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis can get Jokic in foul trouble quick.
Yeah.
And you've seen that with Jokic. If you get a guy who's willing to go up to his body and get body with him, absolutely. Now, getting him in the position to foul is a little hard. You know what I mean? I'm going to admit that. But the whole thing is that if you can chase and bait, you can get Jokic in foul trouble. Anthony Davis, especially, like they kick it out to him at the free throw line. Let him drive it in towards Jokic. Let him drive it in. Jokic is going to have no choice but to grab, push, knock. He's going to do something, and he's going to pick up fouls. And the same thing with LeBron. We're going to need to see a 2016 type LeBron. That's the LeBron that they need.
A legendary LeBron.
Put his shoulder down, and he needs to drive to that rim. And I'm not just talking about tonight. I'm talking about like in the series. If he goes against the Nuggets have enough overall guys to where they can play decent defense against the Lakers when, like I said, once we're out of transition and Jokic is down there, they can play decent defense. Having Porter and Gordon and Jokic, those are three big guys. They're three big guys, but they can all move besides Jokic. So that's where it gives you them difficult matchups. Because if Aaron Gordon sticks LeBron James the entire time, or the majority of the time, that's going to be a tough matchup for LeBron James now. Because again, if he's not playing like vintage LeBron and he his foot is giving him problems, there's going to be problems because he's not going to be able to put up 20 points every single time. And for them to win the series, I feel like LeBron's going to have to put up 20 points. He's going to have to get you 8 or 9 to 10 rebounds, and he's going to have to give you at least 5 assists. Like, he's going to have to be an all-around player in that series.
So let's get into it now as far as tonight's games, because if you want to go through the bets now, we could definitely pull up the bets right now and make our predictions, since we don't have many, since we don't have Bug or Ed on today. We could definitely go to it, and we could talk about it as of right now, ladies and gentlemen. This show is sponsored by Bet Us, and you can receive 125% sportsbook bonus upon your initial deposit. Use the link to get the special offer, and the link will be in the description. So make sure you go to betus.com, or you can go to the link in the description and get the special offer here. And I'm going to just let my boy Mac take over here. And this is the game for the Knicks and the Miami Heat, and he's going to make his predictions as well.
Yeah, so I mean, off the top, I think the Heat at home are going to finish this. I think they're going to play with a lot of enthusiasm, and I don't think Jalen Brunson's going to be enough. Even if Brunson and Randall go off, I don't know where all of it's going to come from. I'm kind of on the fence with a lot of things, but I know it's going to be scoring. I know there's going to be a lot of scoring.
Yeah.
So in the first parlay, I got, obviously I'm going over both of my bets. We're going over, and what is that? Yeah, it's 208. So I mean, that's pretty basic. In most of their matchups, they've all been over. I think except one. What is this? So points, assists, rebounds. That's pretty much for all the way down from Robinson plus 14, Quentin Grimes plus 14, Randall plus 25, Brunson 35, Abayo 20, Butler 30. Then you got 3-pointers, Caleb Martin getting you 1 3-pointer. I mean, that's pretty basic.
He gonna get you 1 3-pointer.
Lowry getting you 3 assists. I mean, he's getting over 3 assists in pretty much every game. Abayo getting you 8 rebounds. Again, he's been almost a double-double machine. So I'm gonna go. Them being at home, he's gonna play well. I think overall, I think he gets the double-double, but I think the points, assists, rebounds with Abayo plus 20 was the better outcome. Mm-hmm. So it's a plus 850. So I think I got $10 on that game, and then we got more of the probable on what I think. The only long shot I feel like in this one would be the rebounds and points for Abayo. But again, I feel like he's going to have a double-double type game. I feel like he's going to have 22, 23 points and 11 to 15 rebounds. I mean, they're at home, and it's plus 450. So, it's enough of a long shot, but it's not horrible odds, which I kind of like. So it's the Heat to win. Jimmy Butler over 25 points. He's at home. Brunson over 25 points. He's going to be a dog.
He's going to be the only reason why they try to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, and absolutely. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. Like I said, I mean, even if you only want to take a couple pieces from my bet and maybe add in something else that you like, that you feel that would hit, feel free. These are just, little tidbits to help you out.
So make sure y'all take a screenshot of this, and make sure if you rewind it and watch this and watch the replay before the game starts, make sure you take this as knowledgeable as much as you can. So screenshot it, put your bets in. You could do that as well. But that's it right there for the Knicks in Miami. For me, I had the Miami Heat.
Said, let's go Knicks.
Y'all about to say New York Knicks, but I have Miami, the Miami Heat in this series. I just don't think it's enough for them in Miami. I think Jimmy Butler is going to redeem himself after the last game in Game 5. I think Gabe Vincent didn't have a great game in Game 5. He was like terrible from the field, but I think that he bounced back as well. Yeah, I like the Bam Adebayo double-double. He plays better at home as well. So it's going to be if Miami get out to a fast start. The game
big
to
thing
me,
is
the game is
it's
out
not
of
a
reach.
double-double. It's not the double-double. So it's points, assists, rebounds, and rebounds for the one.
Okay.
For the big parlay, and then for the small parlay, it's just he just needs 12 plus 20. So if he hits 20 points, it doesn't matter if he gets 0 rebounds because he got his points and rebounds. That's why I like to flex on that bet. That's why I'm more confident in that one.
Yeah, I like Miami here, y'all. I like Miami in this series at home. If Miami loses this game at home, I'm going to be very disappointed. Very disappointed. I don't think Eros is going to allow that to happen. I think their mindset is going to be ready to play. Lowry's going to have a better game. I think everybody's going to play well for Miami to enough that they'll get over it. I think Julius Randle will struggle tonight because his best game was in Game 5. I think he struggled tonight.
Kevin Love and Martin shooting 3-pointers, and then Duncan Robinson, I feel like he's going to take a couple clutch ones.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a 3-point parlay with the Heat, but I've done that twice in this series, and both times it burnt me. So I'm not doing it anymore. But I do like the 3-point matchups, especially with Miami being at home and all the 3-point shooters that they got. So picking 3 or 4 of them to have at least 1 3-pointer apiece. I feel like that's a good parlay to pick.
Agreed. So this is the parlays for the Miami Heat and the Knicks game. Game 6 tonight will be at 7:30. Make sure y'all come through the channel and tune in for that. We go get into the main event, ladies and gentlemen. The main event. That's what the Lakers fans love to call it, the main event, especially Warriors fans too when they come in the chat. They're like, "Oh, the main event is on," like it's a boxing match. So we have the Golden State Warriors in Game 6 trying to force a Game 7 to go back to Golden State against the Los Angeles Lakers. So we do have the bet line here for that presented by Bet Us. So receive 125% sportsbook bonus upon initial deposit. Mac, let us know why you was able to take these 2 bets here.
Okay, so I haven't hit on a Laker bet yet. And I know I went a little Laker heavy on both of these bets. But I just – something is telling me that the Lakers are going to finish this game out, and they're going to have a good, complete game. So LeBron plus 18, I mean, let's be honest. For them to win, he's going to have plus 18.
Right.
Austin Reeves has been hitting some clutch shots multiple games. This isn't different than any other game. Austin Reeves getting 10-plus points, I 100% see that. Same thing with Schroeder. Schroeder's been getting enough access to get inside to the paint that I feel like 8 points is absolutely obtainable unless he gets into foul trouble. So Austin Reeves with a 3-pointer multiple times in this series alone, let alone the last series with the Suns. We've seen him hit multiple 3-pointers in a game. I don't feel like it's too much of a stretch for him to hit a 3-pointer. LeBron James over 4.5 assists. He's got to get over 5 assists. I think I touched on this same thing earlier. Like, he's going to have a complete game where he helps in every category. And then the last is Wiggins. I'm really expecting Wiggins to try to step up this game, especially considering how he's built up through the playoffs. You're slowly seeing that increase and more of a drive from him. So I 100% believe 12 points is obtainable.
So, yeah, y'all see this here. Y'all see this bet line for.
I'm telling you, one of these 2 bets are going to hit. One of these 2 bets are going to hit today.
I'm a firm believer of that. I am a firm believer of that because you have not hit in this series at all. I think this is the time that you hit.
Yeah, like I mean, I hit on one of my personal bets, but I'm not counting that because I haven't shared any of those. But this next one. Well, I mean, because sometimes, like, with an hour game time, you're getting all the news, you're hearing like you've had a whole day to think about it, and sit down. You can sit there and play with the different parlays and how to match things up. And does that look right? Does this really going to fall this way? And, it happens, and sometimes it doesn't. Well, a lot of times it doesn't. I'll be honest. The second parlay is Anthony Davis, points, assists, rebounds, plus 35. I am confident that Davis is going to have a hell of a game. And I feel like he's going to have a hell of a game. I feel like they're literally, him and LeBron are going to put this game squarely on their shoulders. And yes, they're going to feed off the crowd. They're going to feed off the role players. And it's just going to be a banger. And I see Davis probably getting around 26 to 28 points, and then grabbing 10 to 12 rebounds. So we should 100% be clear. Anthony Davis plus 35 on points, rebounds, assists. Now, being that we've all seen the last few games, Anthony Davis has been a good rim protector when he's in position.
Yeah.
And every game this series, I believe, except one, he's had at least 2 blocks. So I'm confident that, again, this game means so much that they cannot afford to lose this game. And I feel like he's going to play lights out. So blocks, no problem. 2 blocks, I don't see that as a stretch. I see that as that should be common, easy money for him.
Yeah, for Anthony Davis, I think two blocks is. I think he gets those in like the first quarter or the first half.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I was so comfortable picking it. Then you got Steph Curry with 8 assists. That's 100% doable, especially with tonight. The game's on the line. He's either going to shoot. He's going to be looking to shoot the ball and looking to pass the ball. And I know how they get out in transition a lot. So, I mean, shoot, I'd probably say he'd probably get close to 8 just on transition assists.
Yeah.
And then again, Austin Reeves with the 3-pointer. I mean, this is money. I think I actually have $10 on the 390 game. And I think I got $5 on this first bet right here on the plus 230. But
all right, so you see how much
these are my actual bets. This is what I have my money on today. This is what I'm confident in these 2 picks. Now, if one doesn't hit, that's fine. But one of the 2 are going to hit. If not, I swear to God, give me hell. Give me hell.
What's up? What's up? Everything here, WNBA, NBA. Just to let y'all know, once the NBA ends, I am going to cover the WNBA. So if you do any WNBA podcasts, just let me know. I know a little bit about the WNBA as well. Hopefully, they get a Philly team for the WNBA so I could come out and support it. Shout out to Across the Pond too, y'all. What up, Darion? At the office talking NBA. Then I brought up your Raiders schedule and I predicted 8-9 or 9-8 on the Raiders. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to the division records. We're going to get to that. So we're definitely going to get to that. But make sure y'all check this out over here with the bets. We did the bets for the New York Knicks and Miami Heat. And now this is the bet that Mac is really confident in to win on both tonight between the Warriors and the Lakers. So make sure you screenshot it, replay it, come back to it, get your knowledge of it. And just to let y'all know, I am picking the Lakers to win tonight. I'm picking the Lakers to win tonight. The Warriors have to prove to me that they can win in LA. They have to prove to me. I cannot pick the Warriors because they have not won a game in LA in this series. So and mind you, I'm not a Laker fan. I'm not a big fan of Lakers. I really don't like the Lakers like that. I don't want them to win, but consensus shows me that when the Warriors are the worst team on the road in the NBA, I'm sorry to say, if you can't win a game on the road in the playoffs, you just don't have a chance to win in the series. So I'm taking the Lakers to end the series tonight. Then we have Lakers in Denver in the Western Conference Finals. That's what I have. Will it be a close game? I think so. I think it'll be a close game. But will the Lakers pull it out? They're at home. They're on their home floor. That's where they play their best basketball. They are 6-0 in this playoffs already. So they have not lost a game since the play-in at home.
I'll say this. If they lose tonight, they lost the series.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, if they lose tonight, they lose the series because They struggle like just like, I mean, even though the Lakers won a game in Golden State one time, but it's hard to win in that building.
Well, that's also why I made sure I tried to make these bets like this, where both of these bets could come through without interrupting each other. One happened to lose in the other. That's why I didn't play points and I didn't play teams. But I'm 100% with you. I think the Lakers come out strong and end this tonight. If they don't, I don't feel like they can come out, play a bad game, lose at home, and then expect to have great energy coming into Game 7 in the Warriors. It just doesn't make sense. They have to close it out tonight, or it's over.
Hey, everything here, WNBA and NBA. You said the Warriors put the Kings out in Sacramento Kings Arena, so we'll have to see. Let's just make it very clear. Yes, the Sacramento Kings was the 3rd seed in the West. We understand that. We understand they came down to the wire against the defending champs. We understand that. But at the same time, you have to understand this is the Los Angeles Lakers team that never lost in the postseason. Never lost. This is a difference. This is a different team. You have a LeBron James. You have an Anthony Davis. Like they didn't have. You have a De'Aaron Fox that's really, really good. That is a rising star in this league that probably can take over the league sooner or later, whenever LeBron James decides to leave or Kevin Durant decides to leave or anything of that nature. But you still have a young core of guys in this Western Conference that could be really good. But this Lakers team has not lost in this playoffs, even starting from the play-in. That is a big factor of playing against LA in LA when they never lost in the postseason. That's all I'm gonna say. There's nothing else you can really say.
It is the Lakers' game to lose. If the Lakers lose this game, then honestly, I think you pack it in. It's done. But I'm not confident that the Warriors are going to go into the Lakers onto the court and have the same type of game they just had or better. Right. Because your game is going to have to step up completely. You're not going to be able to play a close game in LA. Are you kidding me? Like that arena is electric. Like
yeah, if the Warriors want to win tonight, if you want to win tonight, if you're to go to say Warriors, you have to get off to a hot start. You have to start off the way you started off in Game 5.
I'm not even saying hot start. They need to be consistent.
Yeah.
You need to be consistent with your shots. Don't force stuff. Pass the ball, move it, set yourself up for success. When they sit there and they take bad shots and they force things, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
That's what's been
like
so
when they
hard
panic,
to say. And even back to Warriors, the last 2 series. Because I did like if it wasn't for Sacramento being so young and pretty much brand new, I feel like it next year, if they played next year's team this year, they probably would have lost.
Yeah.
They would have lost. I mean, come on now. Like that was a damn good series.
See, I don't know what your vendetta is, Dante, over the Lakers, but now you're smoking. You're smoking. The Sacramento Kings is not way better than the Los Angeles Lakers in this postseason. It's just not. Yeah, they had a great season in the regular season, but like I told everybody, I do not watch the regular season.
Sacramento played defense, though. Sacramento
does play defense, but so does the Lakers. So, like, I was, and then Dante, I don't know what you're talking about. AD is soft. Let's get that. Let me put this narrative to the butt to the top.
We got this together yesterday.
We gonna nip it in the bud today for you, Dante. He's not soft. He's just injury prone. That doesn't make him soft. That's the difference.
He might have some glass bones in that body, but he definitely ain't soft.
He definitely
will
not
die
soft.
for a rebound. He will move. He will put his body in harm's way. That's what makes you tough.
He's one of the main factors defensively why the Lakers defense is really good. He's like the anchor of that defense. Let's talk about it. I don't like the Lakers, but I give respect. I give credit where credit is due. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like the Lakers at all. I don't, for in the back of my mind, I don't want the Lakers to win. But if you look at this, if you look at the stats and you look at what they did in this playoffs, you cannot overlook that. You just can't. You just can't. And mind you, a Golden State Warriors team going into Sacramento on Game 7, they are the defending champions. They know how to do that against a team that never been in the playoffs in the last, 20, 25 years, if I'm not mistaken. So we can't overlook what the Lakers have done in this playoffs. We just can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's what have you done for me lately? And the whole thing is like, hey, the Lakers have been on a tear at home.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with the person who's played better at their house.
Exactly. Until proving that the Warriors can win on the road, I'm picking the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's you just have to go with common sense here. Yeah, you can overthink it. And yeah, well, what if? There's a lot of what ifs for the Warriors to win. And that
it's going to take a lot.
So much. The Lakers they come out and they play their game at home, they win.
Absolutely.
There's not a whole lot of what ifs.
So we both
are we almost ready to get down to tonight for the NFL?
Oh yeah, we're getting into it, man. We're getting into it. But thank y'all so much for the bets, Mac. Thank you so much, man. Make sure y'all go to betus.com or make sure you go to the link in the description and place your bets with the special offer that I do have in the description. Just my so it's going to be fun looking at these games tonight, and I will be live for both of these games tonight as well. So Mac put his division winner picks and Super Bowl pick in the chat, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
So we gonna go down the line of these divisions the way it is today. So we could go down the line because I'm like, let's look at these. So we this is our NFL divisions, right? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna look at the NFL divisions and we're gonna make an early Super Bowl picks. So for Mac, what he had in this chat, we're going to go with the AFC North as well. Of course, he's going to put the AFC North first because that's his team, the Baltimore Ravens, of course.
I mean, you always start with North.
Yeah, we always start with
West
North.
And South.
So we going to talk about it here. So just the people that don't know about the 4 teams in the AFC North is Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Cleveland Browns. They are your 4 teams in the NFC North. The Browns, you can knock them out right now. The Steelers, they're around the corner, but they ain't there yet. They're around the corner, but they ain't there yet.
They'll have a good defense.
They'll have a good defense offensively. I think Kenny Pickett definitely would get to his. He would get there, but he's not there yet.
But I don't see Kenny Pickett winning more than 2 or 3 games. Like, I see him winning 2 or 3 games in the fourth quarter, putting it on his back. Absolutely. But do I see him doing that consistently all the way through the season? No. He doesn't have that team yet.
So then we have the Cincinnati Bengals, and then we have the Baltimore Ravens. So according to Mac, he has Ravens having 11 plus wins over the Cincinnati Bengals.
Now these are what I counted as wins. I see them being at least 11 plus wins with the Ravens schedule. Now the Bengals, I see 10 plus wins. Now I'm sure there might be 1 or 2 of them in there that are wins for the Bengals that I don't see. But again, this is just what I'm seeing. These are early predictions, and this is what I'm counting. I'm not necessarily counting who losses. I'm just looking at are they more likely to win this matchup versus lose this matchup. Now, I will say this: there's a reason why I put both of them up there. It's because I think it's only between us and the Bengals to win our division.
Okay, so I'm looking at your schedule now, and I want to make sure this is the right schedule. So, your first game is September 10th, right?
I believe.
Because y'all got 2 preseason games That's against Philly and against the Commanders, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So y'all have the Texans. That's going to be a win. I think y'all lose to Cincinnati at Cincinnati.
No, we'll take the first game against Cincinnati. It's the second game against Cincinnati that I think we lose. I don't think we lose early. I think we beat Joe Burrow the first time we meet him. Mm-hmm. But once they got a good amount of film against our defense, that's usually the teams that give us problems. That's why, like, if you look at our record early in the year, we win most of our divisional matchups. It's later in the season, once they have plenty of film and game tape on us, that's when we started, get caught slipping a couple times.
So y'all have Texans at Bengals, Colts at Browns. I think the Browns is a win. Then y'all got 3 games on the road at Browns, at Steelers,
the Colts is a guaranteed win. We gonna beat the shit out the Colts. We hate the Colts. We hate the Colts.
And then y'all have Detroit Lions. Y'all have Arizona, Seahawks, Browns again. Browns and Bengals at home. Charger at LA Chargers. I think that's gonna be a game. That's gonna be a game that I'm really looking forward to.
What game is that?
Chargers in Baltimore and in LA. I like that game.
I mean, I don't see their defense doing it. I don't see their defense stopping our offense. And I feel
like it's going to be. I feel like it might just be because both of y'all have good weapons on the offense side of the ball, so it might be a little high scoring, but not too much.
We have a defense though.
Yeah, but they have a lot of weapons too. I don't like the chokers. I call them that because they're in my division. I don't like the chokers. So I have y'all beating them, but I feel like that's going to be a good game. I don't feel like they're not going to dog walk, but I feel like it's going to turn out to be a good game.
I mean, I think it'll be a good game in the first half. I'll say that.
I could take that.
I'll say that because I mean, if they don't make proper adjustments to what we're doing, and then the fact that Lamar can always run on you.
I'll be concerned about that. Lamar, just protect yourself when you run the ball. Don't try to run people over. Just slide. Just slide, brother. Just do it. You got the Rams after the Chargers, which is home, at Jacksonville, at 49ers, then Dolphins, then Steelers. Well, Steelers is to be determined. That's what it says. So Dolphins technically. Wait, do y'all have a bye week? Hold up.
Yeah, I think our bye week is what, 6 or 7, week 6 or 7. I know it's kind of early, but towards the middle.
Yeah, I'm about to find out right now to be exact. Yeah, it don't actually show the bye. I gotta actually look. Let me find the picture.
Oh yeah. I was about to say, didn't I send one yesterday? I think I sent one in the group. No.
Yeah, but why is not showing the bye week though?
There you go. I just sent it again. All right.
Week 13 is your bye week.
Yes, week 13.
Yeah, week 13 is your bye week. Okay, so got it. Dang, y'all gotta play a lot of games until y'all bye week. But you know what though? That might work for y'all.
Schedule afterwards though.
That might work for y'all. LA, y'all can get if y'all
Jaguars will be a game. San Francisco will be a game, but then we ended with the Dolphins and the Steelers. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna say Tua probably won't be playing in that game.
Yeah. So in the AFC North,
I'm not too worried about the Dolphins at that point. So I'm gonna tell you where I got it. All right, so I got the Texans, I got the Colts, I got the Bengals, I got the Browns, I got Tennessee, I got the Cardinals. Right now, I'm a split a win. Between Detroit and Seattle. I feel like we win one of those games.
Okay.
So that gives me 7. Now I'm gonna do the same thing between the Browns and the Bengals. Between week 10 and week 11, back-to-back divisional games. I feel like we win one of those games. Right. So then you got the Chargers. You know what? I'll take the L on the Chargers because I know I'm gonna beat the Rams. Right. Then after the Rams, you got the Jaguars and the Steelers. That's at least another one. So that's 11. My hands are full. Between the Dolphins and the Steelers, that's 1.
For me, I think 2 teams make the playoffs out of this division, and that's Baltimore and Cincinnati. I think both teams make the playoffs out of this division. But for me, in my opinion, I have Cincinnati winning this division. Because for me, if I look at their schedule, it's almost similar to because y'all play the like the AFC South.
Their defense is what's going to sour.
Yeah, because for me losing Jesse Bates that really hurt.
That was a huge blow.
That was huge for them. But I just feel like with this Bengals team, even though they lose spots, they know how to fill spots too. Like Bengals is one thing about the Bengals, right? We already know it's predicted for the Ravens to win because of Lamar Jackson, his ability and y'all defense. But we notice every single year, even no matter what, the Bengals are always underrated when it comes to coming into the season. But for me, I like their schedule is a little bit similar to y'all's. Y'all play the AFC West, y'all play the AFC, y'all not the AFC West, the NFC West, and y'all play the AFC South. And y'all play a few games here, but it's kind of similar. They play Minnesota, y'all don't play Minnesota. They play Buffalo, y'all don't play. Do y'all play Buffalo? No, I don't think y'all play Buffalo.
No. But see, that's what I'm saying. It's teams like that. When they go against a team with like a high-powered offense, that's where they're in trouble.
But when it comes to Buffalo, I don't care for Buffalo. I don't care for Buffalo.
Oh shit.
I don't care for Buffalo, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when what is his name? The head coach for the Giants now. I forgot his damn name. But the head coach for the Giants was the offensive coordinator for Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't have a great year this past year without him. Like that offense did not like the problem with the Buffalo Bills is their running game. That is the problem.
DeBall?
Yeah, Brian Dable.
Oh,
that's what it is. So yeah, Brian Dable was the success to Josh Allen, but they never have a running game, and they run Josh Allen to the ground. So yeah, I'm not really concerned about Buffalo. They have okay defense when it comes down to it, but I think they reached their peak. I don't think they go as far. They might win the division because of look of their division, which we're going to get into. But me personally, as of right now, as I'm looking at the schedule, I see Baltimore and Cincinnati making the playoffs. But I have Cincinnati winning the division, just in my opinion. Of course, you're going to take your Ravens. Of course, you have Lamar Jackson. I have nothing wrong with your pick. But I just feel like Cincinnati is going to be the rivalry there. Pittsburgh's not there yet, but right there, them top two teams will make the playoffs, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So speaking of the AFC East, you have Buffalo having 10 wins, the Jets having 9.
Yeah. And you know, I'll be honest with you. Like, I think those are going to be 9 hard wins for the Jets.
I don't think so. I think that one thing about the Bills.
What Rodgers are you buying? What are you buying? What are you buying?
I'm buying the fact that now you have an Aaron Rodgers, even though Aaron Rodgers is up there in age, I can understand that. But you have one of the best young corners in the league in Sauce Gardner that's not scared to go up against any receiver in this league. He's not scared. He doesn't back down.
The defense, I'm not worried about the defense. The Jets are going to get fucking 7 wins just off of the defense.
I just think offensively they're pretty good too. If you look at it, if you get what is this Mike? You got Michael Carter that's coming back off an injury that was having a good year until he got hurt.
See,
now you bring Randall Cobb over there.
As a big guy, when you say offense to me, I'm thinking the trenches first.
Their offensive line is pretty good. Their offensive line was pretty good last year, but I think the thing that Jets was missing last year was a quarterback. Now you add Alan Lazard, you add Randall Cobb, and then you still have Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. So you add that. So Aaron Rodgers has the weapons receiver wise. I think offensively, they're going to be better. If you look at the Jets schedule, they got Buffalo, Dallas, New England, Kansas City, Denver, Philadelphia. They got the Giants, Chargers. They got us. They got Buffalo again. They at Miami, the Falcons, Houston. Then they have Miami again, Washington, Cleveland, and New England.
Can I say this real quick? All right. So you got Dwayne Brown. What is it? Mekhi Becton.
Mekhi Becton is their weakest link on that offensive line.
Billy Turner, Max Mitchell, Carter Warren, Cedric Ubagetti. And those are backups. And it's just like, I mean, I'm looking at all these names, and nothing on me says that this is any better than what the Packers has given him over the last couple of years.
Well, let's look at their ranking from last year. So when it came to the New York Jets, they was top 20 in offensive line.
But are all those same guys back?
Yes, that's the same guys from last year. Mekhi Becton just can't stay. Mekhi Becton can't stay healthy. That's why I feel like he's the weakest link. So they definitely and I think they went out and got some offensive linemen too. I think they went out and got some offensive linemen in the draft to give them depth. So I think majority of them are from last year.
Old ass.
I just don't like the AFC East though. That division is just weird to me. That is a weird ass division, man.
I'm just not confident enough that everything's going to work out the first time. That's the same thing I said about the Ravens. Like, I see the Ravens getting to the playoffs. I see the Ravens winning in the playoffs. But do I see the Ravens 100%? Do I feel like, yeah, they're going to win the Super Bowl this year? No, because none of these guys have played together before. When you're putting all these different weapons in with a new offense,
Lazard and Cobb is over there, so they got continuity with them.
Yeah, I mean, like OBJ is gonna have some rapport with him, absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, as a team gelling together, making mistakes, getting better, starting to get the timing together, and I mean all the nuances from it. Like I said, I believe they're gonna have a good year. I believe they can make it to the Super Bowl if everything rolls the right way.
Yeah,
there's like a lot of other teams that can happen too, but. I don't know. But the Jets, like I said, I need to see consistency from an offensive line so Aaron Rodgers can be comfortable and you can get the best Aaron Rodgers possible. If not, I see it in a 9-win season. Maybe you'll get 10 out of there. But Aaron Rodgers isn't going to, fix everything that was wrong with that team last year. And it wasn't just players because they had plenty of talent on both sides of the ball.
It was just a quarterback position that was terrible. Zach Wilson is just not it. He's garbage.
I mean, yeah.
There you had Mike White that was a backup that he was playing well until he got hurt. So quarterback position was kind of the main reason why the Jets fell apart in the second half of the season. Because they looked like a playoff team mid through into the second half of the season.
But like I said, there's so many variables with Rodgers. He could get upset with the coordinator. He could, anything could happen. And then now you got a niche. Now you got a niche and going on, and it does nothing but mess everything up. But no, I got the Bills to win, and I got the Jets maybe to slide into the wild card.
Do I really want to trust the Buffalo Bills at this point? Do I really want to trust them? You lost your best linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds, to the Chicago Bears in free agency. So, I mean, I don't know, man. And then DeMar Hamlin's supposed to be coming back. They say he's cleared for OTAs and stuff of that nature.
I mean, great. You got to get a backup player.
I'll go with the Bills because of it's the division they're in. I mean, Miami, I'm not too care for Miami until they prove something.
I'm like this. Look, with the schedule that the Bills have, it'd be easier for them to have the best record versus the Jets.
Let me see their schedule. Let me see the Bills schedule, because if it's easy, then I can assist to
I didn't say it was easy. I said it was. I seen it was easier for them to win 10 games than it was for the Jets.
Okay, so they got the Jets week 1, they got us week 2, but that's in the Jets week. They got us week. We got the Raiders week 2, Commanders week 3. They got Miami, Jacksonville, New York, New England, Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, Denver. Then the Jets again week 11. Then they got the Eagles week 12, Kansas City, Dallas, Chargers. I think for real, they lose 2 out of 3 games here. I think they lose to the Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Buffalo lose to the Chargers and the Kansas City. They'll beat the Cowboys.
I don't see them losing to the Chargers. Absolutely, maybe to Kansas City, depending on
Los Angeles. I think they lose to them in Los Angeles. Now, if it was in Buffalo, then I'll have a different story because
I think Josh Allen alone, like his talent is going to push them past the Chargers. And that's what I'm saying. Like, honestly, like at all the teams you said, I've only counted 4 games that are probably going to be losses. And those still, it's not even a strong probability. You know what I'm saying? So I do when it comes to who the Bills are versus their schedule versus who the Jets are versus the Jets schedule, I like the Bills more. That's what I'm basing this off of. We're basing on who's going to win the division and who could possibly get into the playoffs. That was why I made my list the way I did. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna just go with Buffalo here.
The next one, Chiefs plus 12 wins.
I already know this already, man. Like I'm not biased like that. I'm a Raiders fan, but I'm gonna keep it 100% buck with you. Like the Chiefs is going to win this division. They have not. The only person they really lost was Juju Smith-Schuster on the offensive side of the ball. So
I will say this. Listen, mark this down in your calendar. November the 20th, Monday Night Football, Eagles versus the Chiefs. It's going to be fireworks.
But I'm gonna say this though, just by looking at my Raiders schedule, I can see us getting 9 wins. I can see it. Because our schedule is not as tough. Because if you notice, the Raiders always had a tough schedule. We always had one of the toughest schedules in the NFL. This is a winnable schedule for the Las Vegas Raiders. And you know what? I don't see us making the playoffs. I don't see it. But I do see us winning more than what we won last year. Agree. I have to say that. Because I don't care for Denver. I think we could beat Denver. We have owned Denver in the last seven matchups. We're 7-0 we are 7-0 in the last 7 matchups against them. We swept them 7 times in the last 7 years. That's a win. Buffalo, that might be a struggle. We might lose to Buffalo. We could beat Pittsburgh at home. That's gonna be our get back from last year. We're going to beat the Chargers.
I know Pittsburgh, the offense is not terrifying, but that fucking defense should scare you. I don't think there's no corner. I don't think there's no anybody's offense.
I don't think no corner on the Pittsburgh Steelers
on that team regularly.
I don't think no corner on the Pittsburgh Steelers can defend Devontae Adams one-on-one. I just don't see it.
I mean, I hear you on that one, but I got TJ Watt getting to Jimmy Garoppolo.
He couldn't get I'm confused because because at home he couldn't even, with the offensive line that we had, he couldn't even get to Derek Carr. He didn't have a sack against us last year.
Last year when he was playing injured?
No, he played in that game though.
No, I know. He
came back off an injury in that game.
The second half of the season. Of the season, he played injured. Yeah, he played injured through the last half of the season because he didn't have surgery.
I mean,
no. I'm all for you. If he was on that motherfucking field, he was supposed to be playing. Right. I got you. But like I said, I feel like the way they restocked that defense through the draft, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a division rival. I know that division. I know their team. Unfortunately, I have to visit that website every couple of days to check on what the fuck they're doing. And
we hate as a Raiders fan, we hate the Steelers. We hate the Steelers.
I feel you. We
hate the Steelers. But I think that's our get back game, though. I think that's our get back game. We always split with the Chargers, so I'm not really worried about that. We can almost split with the Chiefs. We always almost split with the Chiefs. It's that one game in Kansas City that we like. If you look at the past years for the Raiders, we always have a good game in Kansas City, but get blown out at home. I don't know why is it like that. I have no clue why is it like that. But I feel like we play better when we play against Kansas City at Kansas City. But we got Green Bay, New England, Chicago, Detroit. Detroit's going to be a tough game. The Giants might be a tough game, depending on how the Giants look upon that time. We play the Jets, we play Miami, we play Kansas City, right before the bye week. Minnesota is winnable. We play the Chargers, Kansas City, Colts is winnable, and we always play Denver the last game of the season.
Who's your defensive coordinator for the Raiders?
Paul Graham, Patrick Graham. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Patrick Graham. I'm not.
I'm trying to think where he's from.
New York Giants. He's from the Giants when they had Bradbury and all those guys.
Okay.
But like it's a no-brainer for me. The Chiefs, 12 plus wins, might be possibly going back to the Super Bowl. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that Super Bowl matchup Monday night.
Barring injuries, they're going back to the championship.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. They have a team that's built to steadily compete for the next 3 to 5 years, continuously.
Yeah.
And they got enough moving parts to where they can keep the guys that they need, and they can just interchange the other parts.
So I got a question though. How much of a factor is going to be that Eric Bieniemy is not there anymore?
I'll say this: it'll be an adjustment and some getting used to, as far as the different offense. But it's Patrick fucking Mahomes. Let's be honest here. We all wished our team had Patrick Mahomes.
Right. I agree, but I'm just saying because that's the only coordinator that Patrick Mahomes had his whole career just getting drafted to the Chiefs. And now a change is coming with Matt Nagy being your offensive coordinator, which was the former head coach of the Chicago Bears. So, we know Nagy came from the Andy Reid tree anyway before he became a head coach.
Yeah, I mean,
I just think like what is going to be like without Bieniemy calling the plays now.
How can you not put Patrick Mahomes in positions to win? And that's all you have to do. Keep him in a position to win. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, he's been in the league long enough. He knows how to read defenses. He knows how to move his body. He knows how to throw. He's smarter than the average quarterback, obviously. So, true. I mean, the audibles, all the shifts, all the protection. Like Patrick Mahomes knows that stuff like the back of his hand. So none of that is going to be an issue. So as far as knowing the defense and playing out knowing the offense and playing out a different type of offense, I don't think it's going to be much of a difference. You're going to have a lot of slants. You're going to have a lot of go routes. Like, you know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of guys running fast and into the opening. That's what they're going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for mismatches. I mean, I don't think it changes too much from Bellamy. I really don't, especially with Matt Nagy and the weapons that they have and having Patrick Mahomes. Where can't Patrick Mahomes throw the ball to? Okay, so everywhere's an opening. So there we go. The fact that you could take any route and mix it with any route. You can put multiple routes that have no other person. You have your tight end running a fade. You can have your other tight end on the side running a slant, and both your ends running go routes. You know what I mean? Like, and he's gonna find somewhere. So to me, it's like, don't fuck it up. As long as you don't fuck it up, you're not gonna fuck it up.
Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna be in the last division, AFC South. We got the Jaguars with 9+ wins and Tennessee with 9+ wins. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars improving that. I say 11. I say they get 11 wins in this division.
Well, again, like I said, these are what I saw as guaranteed wins. These are how many I can guarantee. I guarantee both of these teams win 9, and it's probably going to be a shootout. Those last couple, I think they play each other in the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
I can find that out for you, but I just like the way Jacksonville. I don't know. It's the Doug Peterson effect, but
I want to see consistency. I want to see consistency.
I want to see
year 2 improvement. I'm gonna do what most people, well, I'll say most pundits have done and said. I'm gonna say the Urban Meyer experiment, that wasn't his rookie year. That was just some bullshit. That was an extra year of college, I guess you'd say. Okay.
Urban Meyer was just, he wasn't fit. He wasn't fit to be an NFL coach.
Year. He had a phenomenal rookie year. Let's see if he can build off his rookie year and have a second year. And if his true second year with Doug Peterson does even better, then absolutely. I see him probably getting 11 wins.
So they play. So the first meet between Tennessee and Jacksonville is week 11, and then they play I guess this is week 18, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the last week.
Yeah. So
that game is going to be a dogfight.
So they play Colts, Kansas City, Texans, Falcons, Bills. Then they play the Colts again. I think they sweep the Colts, in my opinion. The Saints, then the Steelers, and then they have a bye week in week 9. Then they play 49ers. Oh, they play Tennessee week 11. Then they play Houston again. Then they play Cincinnati, Cleveland, Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Carolina,
well, the London
Tennessee.
Games, you can give them both London games. They're going to take both London games.
That's guaranteed. They're going to take both London
games. The Chiefs in London, and I'm still going to take the Jaguars. I mean,
I say 10 or 11 wins for Jacksonville, though. I say 10 or 11, but most likely probably 10. I want to say 11 because of the year or 2 of Doug Peterson, but I'll say 10 wins.
No, the only reason I'm saying 9 wins is for Tennessee. I'm saying 9 wins for Tennessee is because of Mike Variable. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you 9 wins. He's got a proficient offense. He's got a proficient defense. He's gonna run you somewhere in the.
Who's the receivers in Tennessee?
Huh?
Who's the receivers in Tennessee?
Well, it doesn't matter. They got a system. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Can you name one of the receivers from the Baltimore Ravens in 2000 when we won the Super Bowl? Can you name one of those wide receivers?
I can't name one of those, but we talking 2023 right now. You want to go all the way back to 2001? I was a freshman in high school.
Certain offenses, you don't need names. You don't need names.
I mean, they had names, but they wasn't like notable names. But the thing was, the problem with the Tennessee Titans is we don't even know the names. We knew the names in Baltimore. We knew the names, but we knew who they were. But who are the wide receivers for the Tennessee Titans? That is the question here. Because I know when they traded AJ Brown, I don't know who they had after.
So they got Chris Moore. I know who Chris Moore is. He played for.
Don't know him.
He's definitely he's a solid slot wide receiver. I'll say that. He's a solid slot. You got Taylon Burks.
They got him in the draft last year. Okay, I remember. Now I'm remembering. Okay.
Yeah, they got Kyle Phillips, Colton Dowell, Mason Kinsey, Reggie Robertson, Nick Westbrook, and Racy McCath.
Yeah, the only one I know is Burks. That's the only one I know.
I mean, like I said, they have a system where, like I said, it's a run-heavy offense. You need 2 wide receivers. That's what you need. And it looks like that's what they got. They got Burks, they got Chris Moore, and then they can throw any one of these guys in a matchup that they think that they like.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, no. I like it. But I'll say 8. I'll say 8 wins for Tennessee.
Tight ends.
Yeah, who are they tight ends? Because they lost Austin Hooper to us. Yeah, but for Jacksonville, I'm gonna say 10. Tennessee, I'm gonna say 10 for Jacksonville. Tennessee 8. I'll say 8 wins for Tennessee.
Josh Wild.
Don't know. Don't know. Don't know them at all. Have no clue of what those guys are besides Burks and Derrick Henry. But hey, Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs in the league, so I can't even be mad at it. You are always in the game when you have a Derrick Henry
roster. I feel like they drafted somebody.
But like an offensive person?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look for.
I don't know.
Peter Shurinsky. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, Peter. Yeah, they went offensive line in the first round.
He was one of the top
second round. They went and got Will Levis. Yeah, I think it was the top of the second round. They moved up to get Will Levis.
Yeah, they got Hassan Haskins.
The running back from Michigan, right?
They got Trevon Wesco as a tight end. They got Geoff Swam. I know I'm butchering these guys' names.
Listen, you sound like me. Good. At least I'm not the only one that butchers names, man.
Thomas Sudoku. Out of Eastern Michigan. They signed him this year.
Okay. I know, right, Dante? We love butchering names, man. We love doing it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel comfortable saying that they're going to get 9 wins. They've got a right in the middle of the pack team on both sides of the ball. I feel like because they're coached, that it's going to help them. Do I think they win the division? Probably not. But no. I feel like that game against the Jaguars at the end of the season, that's going to be a big game.
All right, so now we finally over to the NFC, ladies and gentlemen. We have the NFC North, where you have the Lions having 8 wins and have them winning the division. Is that what I see here?
So no, I don't have either winning the division. I do think it's going to be a race between the Vikings and the Lions. Now, I see them both. Looking at the schedule again, these are what I see as wins. I'm not going to. I don't like to count the what if. Well, it's going to be a close game. No, if it's not a win, I didn't count it. So after counting both, looking at both schedules, I see them both as A+ win. The Lions, depending on how Dan Campbell has this team going, it could be scary. It could be scary, but with 1 or 2 injuries, it could be bad. And that's more worrisome for me, because the whole thing is like, with the Vikings, you could go down a couple guys, and that team still might carry you to an 8 or 9 win season. You get a couple injuries on the Lions. No.
How many primetime games the Vikings got this year?
Oh, I have no.
Because that's gonna be my determination on why the Lions will win this division. How many primetime games?
The Lions have more primetime games?
Now, I want to see how many the Vikings got, because we all know Kirk Cousins cannot play in primetime. So I'm about to see how many primetime games that the Vikings got. I'm about to look at it right now. Yeah, how many primetime games Vikings have? All right, so the Vikings currently scheduled to play 5 primetime games this year. Them 5 games are losses. I'm sorry. Them 5 games are losses. I just don't. The Vikings does not play well in primetime. They just don't. So let me see them primetime games that they have. So let me see which one that's noon. Okay. It don't show the actual 5 primetime games though. So it says they currently schedule 5 primetime games. First night game is in week 2 versus the Philadelphia Eagles on September 14th on Thursday night. That's a loss.
Okay, that's a loss.
The Minnesota hosts the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears on Monday night in football games. To me, they both losses. To me,
I got the Vikings beating Chicago.
I don't.
So that's 2 losses. That's 2 losses.
So 2 losses. And then the Vikings have 2 Sunday night games on the road against Denver and against Green Bay.
And those are both winnable games.
They're winnable games, but this is the Vikings we're talking about.
I mean,
this is Kirk Cousins we're talking about.
And this is Russell we're talking about.
But they have
even with Peyton.
That's why I'm kind of nervous as a Raiders fan because they got Sean Payton over there. That's a way. I think Sean Payton is going to change the culture in Denver
to 6 or 7 wins. But he's not going to get you no 10-win season.
I just don't believe in Minnesota on primetime games.
Not with how we all watched Wilson throw last year.
He played like shit, but he ain't had no offensive line either.
And what's the difference this year?
I mean, they went out in free agency and got some offensive linemen, and they went in the draft and built.
We'll see.
So I mean, we just got to see when it happens. I mean, they don't play him until.
I mean, look, I've seen
play him until November 19th.
Where people go and buy an offensive line and they don't work well together. We've seen it multiple times. Now, yes, there's been a handful of times it has worked, but for the most part, like again, this is something like you have to find guys who fit your scheme, and that's what you stick to. And I feel like a lot of times guys see a name on a paper and they say, "Oh man, he's a real good offensive. Let me go get him." And it doesn't necessarily.
We just gotta see because they don't play Denver until November 19th. So it's gonna be games already done by then. We will see what their record is by then and see how good Denver is at that moment. But
and what was the other game?
Just don't trust Minnesota on prime time. Like
Denver. What was the other game? Denver, and then who else?
So Denver, and then they have Green Bay Packers on New Year's Eve.
See, but that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's in week 17. Again. So we have to see what both teams look like at that time. That's all we in week 17. That's the last game no, that's not the last game. Actually, the Vikings and the Detroit Lions is the last game. But that's not prime time. But that game, week 17, yeah. We don't know. We got to see what both teams look like.
Yep. I'll say this: the second half of the season for both of these teams is going to mean everything.
Yeah.
How they finish the season is going to mean a lot more.
Agreed. And so still for me, I still have the Lions winning. I still have the Lions winning the division, but I'll say 9 wins. I'll say 9 wins. The Vikings. I'll go with the Vikings with 8 wins. As of right now, according to their schedule, I'll go with 8 wins. But I'm telling you, they losing to Philadelphia. They're losing to San Francisco. And to me, it's a possibility. It's a big possibility they might lose to Chicago because they always split with Chicago every year. So, and this is in Minnesota. So
Chicago is one of my sleeper teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're one of my sleeper teams too.
Bears could be sneaky damn good.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they like any team that does not come to play could get beat by them, especially because now they have an offense. They built their defense through the free agency. They got a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Now they got 2 wide receivers. They built up a nice defense. So now it's like that. Now let's see if the coaching
let's see it all together.
Put it all together. And I'm telling you, like I feel like they could come from behind. And if they won their divisional games, they could be the 9-win team that wins the division.
Listen, I would not be surprised. We'll come back to this episode 20, and when the season is done and the Bears win the division, Max said it. Max said it. We got it on file. So I think this is a no-brainer for both of us for the NFC East.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
I say the Eagles win 12 games. Though.
I've seen so many pundits already this year talking about who their favorites are from the NFC East, and they're I'm superstitious. Nobody wins back to back in this, and it's like, are you freaking kidding me? These guys went to the freaking Super Bowl. You have the same nucleus plus more added built into it. How do you not pick the Eagles at this point?
The only thing that they'll be missing is that I don't think they re-signed Ndamukong Suh, and they let Hargraves go to the San Francisco 49ers as far as the interior. Kaiser White is no longer there as linebacker, or TJ Edwards is not there either.
Who's the first draft pick?
I understand, I understand it.
But
Yes,
Carter not sitting on the sideline.
I get that, but we're asking Jalen Carter to put up a production like Hargraves did last year. I see him getting some production, but I don't see the same exact production in his rookie year. Now you do have Jordan Davis as well coming off of injury. Yes. But now that linebacker core, the only thing I always had this issue, and my dad could take because he's an Eagles fan as well. The issue that we always had with the Philadelphia Eagles defense was the linebacker core. Now, I don't know who their linebackers are now because you lost Kaiser White and you lost TJ Edwards. I don't know who their linebackers are now.
Nolan Smith. You got Nolan Smith from Georgia too.
Yeah, you got Nakobe Dean, but they're young. They're young. So who are their veterans? Who are they veterans that they have on a roster?
I mean, I think that's what they moved away from because in the 7th round, y'all drafted Morio. Look, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but his name's Morio. And again, like, hold on, I'm about to pull up the stats.
I think they could go and get at least one veteran linebacker.
Yeah, so dude, he's from Texas. Like that's where he played, and like Jesus, like again, you drafted 2 big ass bull Russian defensive tackles. One from literally the best college team in football last year, and really over the last few years in Georgia, and then you're turning down and going down to Longhorns and taking their one of their top tackles. I mean, I feel like they've restocked where they needed to. They got linebackers, and then again, like you said, I mean, didn't they re-signed the cornerback?
Yeah, they re-signed Bradbury and Slay.
Nucleus.
They lost Marcus Epps as a safety, so they lost a starter there. But the one thing you're right though, they always find a way to restock. But Eagles fans can tell you though, Mac, linebacker has been their issue. We don't know Nakobe Dean's there. We don't know Nolan Smith is there, but I feel like the inexperience of Nakobe Dean and the inexperience of Nolan Smith might hinder that defense. But other than that, that's the only weakness that the Eagles had. Not their front line, not their back end, not their offense. We already know the offense is stacked. The offense is good. And they went out and traded for DeAndre Swift during the draft. That makes it even better because you replace Miles Sanders with DeAndre Swift. Now, DeAndre Swift is a Philadelphia native. He's from here. If he can stay healthy, you got yourself a quality back with Boston Scott and what's the other guy's name? Because they got a running back by committee. I know they got Boston Scott, DeAndre Swift, and what is his other guy's name? I cannot get, but they only have a running back by committee. Offensive line stacked. Not worried about it. Only thing you worry about, I want to see what Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean could do at linebacker. That's all I want to see. But yes, 11, I say 12 wins for the Philadelphia Eagles. And then for the New York Giants, I say 9 wins. They're going to be right behind them. I don't see the Commanders getting that far. I don't see
No, I'm opposite with you. I definitely see the Commanders coming in second. There's
don't.
No way. The Giants just aren't that damn good. They're just not that good.
I like the Giants better than the Commanders at this point.
Defense. What on the Giants defense scares me? What do I have to game plan around?
So my question: should we be the Eagles and so everybody else in the division should be scared of Sam Howell as your quarterback?
I mean, no, but if you're running the right type of offense, you damn right he can get that ball to McLaren.
Yeah, Terry McLaren. Yes, he's good. He's his number 2. That's been the problem with Commanders. They always have Terry McLaren, but they play good.
They got Dodson.
If Dodson can stay healthy, he was hurt last year.
Dodson was damn good.
Yeah, when he was healthy until he got hurt.
I look touche on that one, but the thing is they have other guys there. They've drafted guys that have made an impact. I think offensively, people are going to underestimate them, and that's why they're going to win games.
I think it's Giants and Eagles, then Commanders for me.
Cold thing is no Saquon. Where are they going? Where are they going? No
Dallas too. I mean,
where are the Giants going?
Huh?
Without Saquon, where are the Giants going? I don't see the Giants winning more than 7 games without Saquon.
That's only if they don't have Saquon. We just but you know that when it comes to contract talk with most of these running backs, is no news about it. So we really can't talk about it. But I get what you're saying though.
Shit. So I mean, like I said,
if that's the case, then
and then they
if that's the case, then I would switch
quarterback. What's his name?
I would switch Dallas and make them number 2 over the Commanders and the Giants. Then if that's the case,
I don't see Dallas. Again, like what do we say about Anthony Davis? He's soft, but he's injured. He's not soft, but he's injury prone. Dak may not be soft, but he's injury prone.
I mean,
you got to convince me because I mean the whole thing is, yeah, you might get fucking 5-6 wins, but what are you going to do in that second half of the season? And how many wins do you have by then? Who's playing? You know what I'm saying? Like there's too many variables, and then the defense.
And I don't think
that defense has been inconsistent. It'll be good one game, and then bad one game, and then good game, and then shitty for 3 games. Like again, who's calling the plays?
Now,
and then Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy is maybe
on his way out.
Coach
on his way out.
I mean, I don't understand how he got the job. It doesn't make sense to me.
Listen, he should never got the job. But
bro,
I think my problem is not with Dallas in the regular season.
And you don't get it done. You are not a great coach. You will always be a good coach. Leave it at that. But I mean, I'm just being serious about this. Like I'll tell you this: another coach that kind of grinds my gears. That he gets a lot of our triumphs is Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell didn't win shit with the Ravens. He was in the box sitting there talking to Flacco. Flacco made so many audibles throughout that playoff run that they give Jim Caldwell credit for calling plays. He didn't call the fucking plays. Joe Flacco called the plays. I mean, and I'm serious. And I think Joe Flacco doesn't get enough credit for that. And then what was it? The Denver game where our headphones went out. So Joe Flacco had 0 contact through that entire game and through most of that game in the playoffs. So how the hell is the offensive coordinator calling the plays and he can't talk to his quarterback? Wasn't nobody running sideline to sideline. So, I mean, it grinds my gears with some coaches because some coaches get all this high praise and some coaches, you know, they don't get anything. And it sucks because I feel like a lot of times because of mouthpieces, I'll say that because of mouthpieces.
Yeah, mouthpieces, facts.
That talk on things that they really don't know.
Let's get to these.
It sucks sometimes. And I'll just say sometimes it does suck because it's like without that added knowledge, you people are continuing to give this man flowers for something he should have never got flowers for in the first place. You came in there after we fired Cam, and literally the only reason you were there is to be a yes man for Harbaugh. And then what happened the next year? What happened the next year? Man, blowout after blowout after blowout. He couldn't even get points on the board half the time.
This man is going on a rant, but I think we both agree.
And then he left us after having that shitty year and went to be a head coach for Detroit. And I was like, how the hell did he get a coaching job? A head coaching job at that. So, well, it wasn't his fault. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, look at the Lions organization after that, though. So they felt though that he was a great fit. So that's another story for another time now. So hey. They thought that he was the
Detroit Lions.
Well, I think we both agree on the NFC West here. The 49ers 11+ wins. I think the 49ers bounce back. You know, it's just crazy the way
nobody else
win games though. It's just
win 10 games. I don't even see them win 10 games. Even the Seattle Seahawks. Like I say them being an 8 to 9 win team.
Yeah,
I don't. They didn't push into the playoffs. What did they do over the off season? Like, you know what I mean? As far as I see, they're the same team from last year. Maybe they tweaked a few things, but I mean, you're not going to convince me that you're going to be a 10-win team or a playoff team.
They were the wild card last year. They was a wild card last year, but they lost.
That was
a wild
last
card
year.
last year.
That was last year. This is this year.
Yeah. I agree.
This is a whole new year.
I agree. And now you got a full year. You got a full year with Christian McCaffrey now, because they traded the 49ers traded for him mid-season. So now you got a full season with Christian McCaffrey now with the 49ers.
Seeing the 49ers win 15 games. I would not.
The 49ers can win 15 games?
I said I wouldn't be surprised if 49ers won 15 games.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying they can. I said I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? Versus, the surprise you would have versus the Jaguars getting 15 wins. You'd likely shit your pants. What the fuck?
Yeah, who was talking that? Like,
you see, but now you see the shock value that I'm talking about.
Right, right.
I really wouldn't be surprised because that's how good they can be. But yeah, no, my guess, they're an 11-win team. They're gonna get into the playoffs, and more than likely, they're gonna get to the divisional round and maybe.
I got the 49ers going back to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Coming out of the NFC, like, and I just feel like now, and I gotta just say this, and knowing that I'm a Raiders fan, and I'm not supposed to say this.
Fletcher Cox. We forgot Fletcher fucking Cox. I forgot.
Fletcher Cox.
That is the OG defensive tackle
for
the fucking Eagles. And I kind of felt bad because I was like, holy shit, how did I forget him? I'm looking for all the rookies and all the new additions. I'm forgetting about the man, the myth, the legend.
Even though I'm a Raiders fan, and I got to say this about the San Francisco 49ers, they have a head coach in Kyle Shanahan that you could throw any quarterback in there and it would succeed.
Like father, like son.
And that's what makes the 49ers a great football team, where you have a coach that has every quarterback ready to learn this, to know this offense, and to be able to execute on the field. Now, Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant in last year's draft. Nobody expected him to play. He was going to hold the clipboard and be the third string quarterback. And he got his opportunity and he made the best out of it. Now is a quarterback controversy now, which I don't think it is, but people say it is. I think Trey Lance, I don't think he's healthy enough to come back at this moment, in my opinion. The way he broke his ankle and has medals in it, I just don't know. Brock Purdy got them to the NFC Championship, then he got hurt. It's just, I just think it's Brock Purdy's job to lose, but I think I'll go off of what happened last year, and I'm still going to go with the 49ers, no matter who the quarterback is. It could be me. It could be you back there. We could win 11 games with that offense and Kyle Shanahan. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and look, shout out to Michael Shanahan for not pulling out. Kyle Shanahan, probably the best coach that we've seen in the last couple decades. And to think that we've probably got another 30+ years of watching this man coach and devise these plans and put together these offenses. I am all for it. I fucking love it, man. He's probably my favorite coach overall, but by far favorite offensive coach. Eric Bellamy is second because of his schemes, but Kyle Shanahan is going to get you wins, and he's going to get you high percentage plays. When you're like, you want to reference basketball and football together, you're talking about a guy who's gonna get you quality shots, quality looks.
Yeah,
he's gonna get you quality throws. He's gonna get you quality matchups on the field. And I'm fucking. It's astounding that he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet.
I think they go. I think they go to the Super Bowl this year. I got them as my prediction, my early prediction for them to go to the Super Bowl. But I don't even want to talk about any other team in the NFC West because the 49ers are going to take it and run with it. The Rams are rebuilding. Even though they drafted Stetson Bennett from Georgia as a backup, but Matthew Stafford, he got his Super Bowl. He did what he was supposed to do. Now he's done over there. Of course, you got one of the best receivers in the league in Cooper Kupp with the Rams, but I just think the Rams are just falling apart as a franchise at this moment. So I'm not really worried about them. I'm not worried about Seattle.
That's a comfortable implosion over there.
Yeah. So, I'm not really worried about Seattle. We know what Seattle can do.
I will say this. After doing a little bit more homework on your team, doing a little bit more homework on your coach, as long as your coach don't mess with the offense. I mean the defense, right? And McDaniels stays his ass on offense and has everything to do with offense. And you guys get your system down. Jimmy Garoppolo, he looked real good under McDaniels.
He did, but he looked at damn good under Shanahan as well.
The dink and dunk system with Garoppolo was looking good. Like looking back at the Patriots, it's like, okay, I can see why they did it now. Because he's like, listen, this guy knows my offense. This is going to be catered to how he can play well. Regardless of how he likes to play, he plays well in that system.
And I agree with you to an extent. Now, if you look at his career at the 49ers, it was a complete football team.
Yeah, okay.
That's the issue that I have with this Las Vegas Raiders team. Now, yeah, if you look at the Deebo Samuels of the world, that you could play anywhere on the football field on the offensive side when it comes to that. We had a Brandon Ayuk. Now we have a Devontae Adams, but I'm really concerned about Jacoby Myers as a receiver. The protection is going to be the protection. I mean, we picked up a lot of offense. One thing about us is that we didn't draft any offensive linemen.
Listen to me, okay? Shanahan's system works well with a quarterback who has good mobile feet.
Agreed.
Garoppolo does not have good mobile feet. I mean, yes, he can under circumstances, and he has under circumstances. I'm not taking away from what he's done, but I'm saying he doesn't have that mobile cut. That's why they picked up Trey Lance, because he has that mobile ability, the footwork option. That's why that works well in his system. So,
I don't think Trey Lance plays a down this year. I just don't think so.
I mean, he might not. I have no clue what's going on with him. I mean, in that regard, I'm just going off of Purdy. I'm expecting.
Yeah,
Purdy
I'm going off Purdy to
and
be.
Then the other thing is like, how can people still be surprised in this day and age? Like Russell Wilson, he was a 3rd round pick. Like nobody thought, bang the drum, that this guy's going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even Tom Brady should be the overall is kid. You never know. Take the opportunity that you have and run with it. That should be the epitome of it. Like everybody knows Tom Brady. Tom Brady's 6th round pick. Like you got to make your opportunity. So anybody, if you get drafted, in my opinion, you know what I mean? Like you're technically not irrelevant because you're relevant. Everybody knows who you are now.
Right.
So now. Make a statement. He made a statement. Let's see if he can capitalize on it. And that's what I'm betting on. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I see happening. I don't see any reason not to. He played great in that system. So why wouldn't you give him more time?
Yeah, 49ers win that division clearly for me. They win it clearly. And then last but not least, the NFC South. Mac has the Buccaneers with 8 wins. Is it? And the question is this: is it because of their defense? Because I do not believe in Baker Mayfield at this moment. I just don't.
Oh, I mean, again, for me, it's the overall team, and they're in the matchups. We're talking about overall team. I'm Mike Evans is going to get put in a good situation. Everything is going to be, again, and I know it sounds funny, a dink and dunk. It's going to be a dink and dunk offense. It's going to be a lot of curl routes, a lot of slants, comebacks, fades. It's not going to be a lot of, I'm going to have, and then you got Godwin. He's going to run the field up and down in the slot. Like there's weapons there to continue the system.
Who's their running backs? Because Fournette is not there.
No, I don't think Fournette's there anymore.
Fournette's not there anymore. So who are their running backs? And who are their tight? Well, they still got Cameron Brate, but we have not. Cameron Brate had a down year last year. So for me, I just feel like the New Orleans Saints, they'll get 8 wins. The Buccaneers, I'll say 7. But I'll say the Saints 8 wins. But I just don't know who's going to win this division at this point because I don't really care for Carolina. Carolina is not on the come up no time soon.
They got White, Vaughn, and Edmonds.
It doesn't stick out to me, but but you know what? We in the league with running back by committee times now, so
yeah,
you don't have to have a big name back to be good.
That's what you have to have. You have to have running back by committee, unless you got a guy who's just gonna, carry.
If they had Derrick Henry type of player,
and I mean, even Derrick Henry at his age, I'd still be trying to make sure he's probably between the 250 and 300 mark. I would try to keep him under 300 carries for the year.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Now you can't, because now you got the extra game. So yeah, it'd probably be like a little over 300 carries.
That's going.
And that's limited because honestly, I mean, the man could probably have closer to 450.
Absolutely. So I got the Buccaneers winning 7. I got the Saints winning 8. This is going to be a year of this division. I think this whole division is up for grabs for the South, for real, because I don't see no clear definitive division winner in this division. I don't care for Carolina. I know the Falcons are in rebuild. They did rebuild their defense to a point where it impressed me. I'm still not sold on Desmond Ridder. Derek Carr, I've seen Derek Carr for 9 years. I don't know what he's going to be like in his offense.
They drafted Rachaad White.
Who drafted Rachaad White?
The Buccaneers.
Who's Rachaad White?
Hold on a second. I'm trying to get all of the stats.
Because I know that they I know they got Bijan Robinson as a running back for the Falcons. And they went out and got him as a top 10 pick. So this division is pretty up in the air. At this point, I don't have a division winner. I just don't. I gotta wait till the season pans out to really make my pick, because I don't know, a lot of these teams. Matter of fact, all 4 teams have uncertainty right now for me.
But so they also picked up Cody Munch, I think, in the 3rd round. Dude is a lights out offensive lineman.
Okay.
And to put him with Ryan Jensen, like, these are 2 judo dudes. Like, they do jujitsu and shit. Like, as 300-pound guys, like, as a big guy myself, like, you know what I mean? That's you gotta be able to move. You gotta be athletic, and you gotta be fucking strong to roll around on the floor with another 300-pound guy.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And for these guys to do that type of stuff, and then again, and it's the same thing with Tristan Wirfs. He was a wrestler too.
Yeah, I like him.
I like him. I'm seeing where Tampa Bay is going, and to have a whole offensive line that's full of big fucking wrestlers from the high school and college levels.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I see this as a more complete team than the Saints. Who's the quarterback for the Saints?
Derek Carr.
Okay. Who's he throwing the ball to?
Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, and sometimes Alvin Kamara out the backfield. I mean, I don't really know all day wide receivers, but Chris Olave had a great rookie year last year. So
yeah, he's a playmaker. He's absolutely a playmaker. Michael Thomas, I'm not confident in him anymore. Like, to me, I mean, give me a reason to be scared of you, and then I'll be scared of you.
They just signed. Taysom. Do something with Taysom Hill.
To me, the biggest thing is like Kamara. You take Kamara away from that offense, you got a one-trick pony.
I mean, Taysom Hill can play all over the field. You can put him at fullback. You can put him at tight end. Taysom Hill is like he doesn't have an actual position on the field.
I know that's like saying I'm scared of Juszczyk. I'm not scared of Juszczyk.
Well, Juszczyk is good though, but I mean,
he's good. He good if you put him in the right position and situation. But I'm not scared of him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That's what I mean. Like, the Saints don't scare me. The only person on the Saints that scare me is Kamara.
To me, nobody in the division scares me. At this moment, if I'm the Carolina Panthers, I'm not afraid of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If I'm the Saints, I'm not afraid of the Carolina. I'm just saying, that's why I said I can't pick no team.
I mean, okay,
I can't pick no team for this division.
Now let's add that one horrible variable. Injuries, right? If one or two guys from Tampa Bay gets injured, they still probably have a 7-8 win game season, right? 2 or 3 people from the Saints get injured, done.
I don't know. I just think
because at this point, it doesn't matter who you put in a quarterback. Mayfield, back, whatever. That's interchangeable, and they still relatively have the same season. You take Derek Carr out of that equation, they don't have the same season, right? You take Alvin Kamara out of that situation.
I agree, but I'm still not confident in this division.
But like I said,
the NFC South is one of the NFC South and the AFC South is one of the 2 weakest divisions in the league. So, but we already know, what we're getting from the Jacksonville Jaguars because we saw it with Doug Peterson. But with these 4 teams, you got a new quarterback at Desmond Ridder. Now you might have Bryce Young as your starter for Carolina. Then you got Derek Carr as your new quarterback for the Saints. And then you got a new quarterback for Tampa. You got 4 new quarterbacks in this division. I don't know who's winning this shit. I just don't know.
So what if I told you nobody from the NFC South was winning anything?
I mean, if you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, bro, think about it. This is how bad the NFC South is.
No team from the NFC South wins more than 6 games.
But you know what, though? This is what happens, and I'm gonna tell you. The Buccaneers did it last year. They was 6-10 and made the playoffs. That's how bad the NFC South is. When you win a division at 6-10, I'm just saying.
And again, I could see that very well happening. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, I mean, it might shock some other people to be like, "Holy shit! Only one team has 6 wins. The rest of them have 2, 1, 5."
Right.
What?
Terrible division for me. NFC South is a terrible division for me. So, Mac has the AFC, the Chiefs or the Ravens going to the Super Bowl. I say Chiefs. I'll just say Chiefs for me. That's going to the Super Bowl.
Look, it's all about runs, and I have a feeling, like I said, Lamar Jackson got the bag. Lamar Jackson is going to
prove it.
He's got
to prove it, man.
He's got to. Because if not, he gonna watch him draft another quarterback.
Yep.
And it's gonna hurt his feelings like a motherfucker.
And
at the end of the day, it's like this. Like, this team is built to win, and it's built to win now. Like, no, we don't have first class at every position, but we have talent and we have ability at every position. I'm confident that we have role players and good people at every single position. We can get hit by the injury bug and still come out the other end and be okay. I feel like we've built enough around our core guys, and we've got enough backup guys now that I see if we are healthy come week 17, 18, I see the Ravens going on a roll. And defensively, if we're clicking and we're blitzing, not too many people is going to be able to hang with us. Especially we got Rock Ya-Sin, we got Kelly Blue that we just drafted 4-year out of Stanford. He's going to be a great slot. We got Marlon Humphrey on the other side. Like I said, and we're only through the draft in the first part of free agency. There's going to be a couple more people that come out to play, and you know what I mean? Maybe one of them cornerbacks pop out. We might go snatch one up. But you know what I mean? All the young guys we got Pepe Williams from last year. We got Amar from last year. We got I'm so mad I can't remember his name right now. But we got Hamilton. He was our strong safety. That's why we were finally got rid of Chuck Clark's ass. Hated that man. Everybody talking about, oh, he's so football smart. I don't give a fuck. He can't make a tackle. He gets run over, and then I talk a bunch of shit. He has 3 bad games, and all of a sudden he can have 2 interceptions in a game. Oh, that's because he's as smart as he is. Well, if he's as smart, why don't he get 2 interceptions a damn game? Oh, that's right, because he can't. But anyway, he's finally to the Jets. So let him take his non-tackling ass over there. That's also why I got a little bad juju on them Jets. I don't see them beating out the Bills. Chuck Carter missed a lot of tackles.
yo, Mac is crazy right now. Mac is crazy right now. So if y'all listening there, man, y'all hearing him go off right now. Man. That's why
how they got CJ Mosley's ass quiet. We was like, oh, you can't tackle? We ain't gonna resign you. And sure enough, the Jets went over and paid the shit out of him.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, Chiefs or Ravens in the Super Bowl. And then you have 49ers and Eagles in the Super Bowl. I have to agree with both of these here. I don't see any other team in the NFC right now going to the Super Bowl. I just don't. 49ers and the Eagles have the two most complete teams in the NFC, in my personal opinion. When it comes to the Ravens and the Chiefs have the most complete team in the AFC overall, in my opinion. Their defense can be a little bit suspect, don't get me wrong, but the Chiefs always find a way to win games. That's one thing I can say without having it. They have an okay defense. It ain't nothing elite to their defense, but they find ways to get stops when it's needed.
So it's what you call the bend don't break.
Yeah.
And that's what they have. They have a preventative defense because that's what they need. They said, look, Patrick Mahomes, how many points you going to put up today? Spot me 28. Spot me 28. You know what I mean? And just don't let them score over 28 points, we'll win. And boom, go out and do it. I don't feel too well. Spot me 17. 17 points. Don't let them and it'll be around 17, 18, 20 points. And you'll see the defense. They play up to their competition.
Right.
That's Absolutely. What they do a lot. But they do that is again, so because it's bend don't break. Because we have Patrick Mahomes, we know we can be comfortable. But the whole thing is let's not give up 3 straight touchdowns, okay? That's not going to help Patrick Mahomes.
Right. That means Patrick Mahomes got to come from behind and just try to sling it any way that he's sling the ball any way that he can. So
I mean, don't get it twisted. Patrick Mahomes, like when I tell you, on the trajectory that he's going, he will be the greatest quarterback. Yeah. Probably the greatest player to ever play.
Probably the greatest players to ever do it. He's probably going to be. He's definitely going to be up there. He's definitely going to be up there.
Like he's going to win another 4 or 5 Super Bowls.
As a Raiders fan, I can't even.
Heart-wrenching. Like
as a Raiders fan, I can't even.
I know. It's your division.
I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing until the Raiders prove that they could do something. I can't say nothing.
We'll never play against them in the Super Bowl, so it's not like, you know what I mean? I got an opportunity to get there without them. Like, we can't get there without going through.
You got to get through them to get there, basically. Yeah. Okay, we both got AFC teams at the end of the day. So there you have it, guys. Episode 20 is in the books, and it's Friday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
it's Friday, and we wrapped up the first week of having all the co-hosts here. It's been fun, and we're going to be back Monday because we don't do this show on the weekends at all. But we will be back Monday, same time, same place. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out all the links in the description when it comes to Bet Us, when it comes to SeatGeek, and all the sponsors that's here for the Darion Hopkins Show. So make sure y'all check that out. And I will be live tonight for Knicks and Heat and Lakers and Warriors on this channel for the play-by-play and reactions of this game 6s. And we will definitely talk about all the games over the past weekend back on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. So thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Darion Hopkins Show. Episode 21 will be here Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The whole crew is definitely be back.
Everybody, it's going to be a splash night.
It's going to be a splash night.
I feel like everybody's going to be shooting threes tonight. Like,
I'm looking forward to it.
I think I might put a bet in. I think I might put another bet in. And all three.
If you do, send it to me out, and I'll post it on the Instagram and stuff of that nature. So if you do, I'll post it real quick. I'm
thinking because I'm like, man, it's Friday. I think everybody's going to be out here. Everybody's going to be trying to live large. They're going to be eating on the court.
So thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Darion Hopkins Show. We see y'all Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. And let's see who's moving on and who's not. We out of here, y'all. Peace out.